They are not watching this long form content anymore. They are now watching shorts.
You have roughly 3 slots at the top and then boom, a massive wall of shorts.
This one change alone has made it impossibly hard for literally everyone on YouTube.
You need to make sure that in 2026, you are doubling down on uploading more YouTube shorts.
All of these shorts are getting hundreds of views per hour, even though they are at least 6 months old.
What I found has honestly made me a bit scared for the future of YouTube.
YouTube is pushing shorts everywhere. The homepage is flooded with them, and everyone, and I mean everyone, is saying the same thing. You need to pivot to creating more shorts. I analyze the data from dozens of channels that I work with, and I'm here to tell you, if you're building a business, if you're serious about making money on YouTube, it could be the worst advice that you follow. Ladies, class is in session. So let's talk about what's actually happening on YouTube right now. If you've been paying attention, and I know that you have been because you're here watching this video, you've probably seen some very interesting videos lately about the YouTube algorithm. We see these videos often pop up, new algorithm changes, and yes, they get the views. But this one in particular, I thought was very, very good, very well done, and made a very strong point. But Marcus Jones put out an excellent video with data from over 500 channels showing that views are down across the board with all those channels. Now, vidIQ did a follow-up video, a great video, talking about how their own channel got hit in September with the algorithm change that Marcus is talking about. And they're right, the data is real, it is there. So I want you to look at this. This is what the YouTube homepage used to look like. There are 2 rows of long form videos. That's 8 to 10 opportunities for your long form video to be discovered and get clicked on. And this is what it looks like now. 1 row, maybe 2, 1, 2, 3 long form videos, and then boom, a huge wall of shorts taking up that screen. And then on mobile, it gets even worse. You get maybe 1 long form video before you get a bunch of shorts. It might be slightly different for you. YouTube is not always consistent with the way its platform looks from viewer to viewer and is always testing different things. So if things do look different for you, let me know in the comments. But what I'm seeing from all the different channels that I have access to, that I can see their homepages for, more often than not, it does tend to look like this. But here's also what makes this whole situation even more challenging for long form content creators. We are competing with AI generated content, not just other human content. Facelift or avatar facing channels that can pump out video after video using AI voices, AI scripts, AI editing, they're flooding the platform. And even if most of it is generic AI slop, it's still taking up space, right? Really valuable real estate that we need. So every time the algorithm tests one of these AI produced videos, that is an impression that doesn't go to you. So we've got fewer slots for the long form content, we've got shorts taking over the homepage, and we've got AI content flooding this whole system. So yeah, those changes are real, and they do kind of suck. I'll admit it. They're not great. I don't love shorts. I don't love seeing them on my feed. I actually turn on the button that says show fewer shorts because I don't want to see the shorts. But the competition did just get way more intense. And the obvious solution that everyone's recommending is start making shorts. I mean, it's illogical. It makes sense, right? If YouTube is pushing shorts and they're saying, yeah, do shorts. And I'm hearing this from my clients that when they talk to their channel manager through YouTube or their contacts at YouTube or go to the events, YouTube is pushing shorts a lot. So it makes sense. Do shorts.
I think now is a good time to be posting shorts.
Shorts can turn into evergreen content.
And you need to make sure that in 2026, you are doubling down on uploading more YouTube shorts.
But I have a different perspective. By the way, my name is Erika Vieira. I'm a YouTube channel producer and coach for the last 10 years, and this channel is for high-achieving women who mean business on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Here's what I think nobody's really talking about, and this is where I have to respectfully disagree with the solution, even though I completely agree with the problem. Because given my situation, having access to dozens of analytics at a single time, with channels ranging from literally brand new to 1 million plus, and what I'm seeing in real time, working in the trenches with channels, is telling me a little bit of a different story than what is being put out there. First of all, shorts do not convert to subscribers. I see this with the data, and this is very strong, compelling data. I wish it was different. I wish they did. But when you see channels that start to lean a little bit more into shorts, or they start adding shorts, we see a lot more views on their channel, but we don't really see a lot more or an equal ratio of new subscribers. The view to subscribe ratio on shorts is significantly lower than long form. People watch, they scroll, they move on, they're in consumption mode. They're not really sitting there thinking, oh, I want to subscribe subscribe to this channel. So that's what I'm seeing now and what I've been seeing for months before and after this change happened. That doesn't mean that YouTube will turn on some kind of switch and for some reason now these people are subscribing a lot more. I don't know, but what I'm saying, the data is not showing me that. Secondly, shorts don't really make any money. And I'm not just talking about AdSense. So yes, the AdSense for shorts is absolutely terrible. But I'm talking about the money that actually matters for business owners. Affiliate commissions, course sales, product sales. The only place it does make money, but this really only works if you already have a pretty decently large channel, is with brand collaborations. Heck, if a brand is gonna give you $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 to create a short, by all means, create that short. And the thing is though, YouTube doesn't make it easy for you to sell things on your shorts through the platform and the way it's set up and the way you can't really have links. So there are hacks that people use to get around it, but the reality is that people watching shorts aren't sitting there shopping. They're not in buying mode. They're really in that entertaining kind of consumption mode. And like I always say, they're not really in transformation mode. Third reason is, and this is a big one to me, is that shorts and seeing any success for shorts. I have personally grown YouTube channels with just shorts. I've worked a lot with shorts content, and growing a channel and building up your subscribers and getting a little community requires a lot of content to get traction. And we're talking like, if you can, a video every single day. I know the people at YouTube recommend, when it comes to shorts, if you can, uploading daily, if not multiple times a day. I mean, think about that. If you're a one-woman show, or even if you have a small team, creating a short every single day on top of your long-form content, I don't know about you, but for me, that sounds awful, that sounds exhausting, and for many, it's probably not sustainable and a recipe for burnout. Now, like I said, if you already have a big following on TikTok or Instagram, or you're already creating this short-form content, and you're just repurposing it, fine. Obviously, throw those shorts on YouTube. And I have a lot of clients that do that. And they've seen some success. Those are usually the ones that do end up creating shorts. Most of the time, most people are not natively creating shorts just for YouTube. I'd rather you put that time and energy towards long form content. But for my clients that do that, that put some shorts on there, that's the data that I'm seeing. Like they're not making that much money from it. Some people are even like, I don't even know if I'm gonna do this anymore, like upload these shorts, but why not? It's there. I always think about like shorts, almost like a lottery. Like there is that lottery component where like maybe one of them will go viral. Okay, great. Then maybe we'll get some views from it. If you have a choice to spend time on a long form video versus a bunch of shorts, you're much better off spending that time and energy on a long form video. For most of us, we have to make the choice about where we're spending our time and energy. Even those AI tools like Opus Clip, they take time to go through and they're not perfect. And honestly, they don't really compete with the people that are actually creative native shorts or native short form content. They're actually creating a short to be a short versus just a clip from a video. And I'm a huge believer in working smarter, not harder. So the question really becomes, where is your time best spent? Is it worth it? Maybe you do get an Opus Clip and you have somebody on your team just doing that. And okay, you're willing to spend the money to do that and you're not spending much time on it. If it's you, I would challenge you and say, look, how much time are you really taking to chop those videos up to turn them into shorts? How much time, really? Could your time better be spent doing another long form video that week?
So what I did was I exported all the data from these channels I had access to and created this graph. It shows the combined amount of views being generated by shorts across over 500 channels I have access to. Interestingly, from the data I mentioned earlier, it seems like big creators are experiencing view drops too. The data here shows views coming from older shorts posted by the top 100 YouTubers, and again, you can see this very steep decline, particularly around September.
Now going back to the data that people saw, so when I heard about this, I was really curious. So I went into all the channels and just looked at the timeline, which they presented at around September is when this change happened. So I looked at the timeline of a bunch of my channels, and what I saw was really interesting. What I saw was that some channels looked like there was no change at all. It was like kind of flat. Some channels, there were slight dips. Some channels, they went up. So it was not consistent. I think there was very compelling evidence from vidIQ and Marcus Jones that showed like a lot of channels having this major dip. I didn't see it. I looked at about a dozen, 15 channels. I mainly looked at the channels that were larger in size because I feel like that's where you'll see more of those patterns. I didn't see a very consistent pattern. There were definitely some people that saw a drop. There could be so many things involved in that. It could be seasonal. So I didn't really see this like super consistent. I'm really curious because I think this is worth exploring and continuing to look at, right? I think every channel should really look at it. And I'm curious with what you see, did you see a major drop in September that has stayed low? For me, I'm not seeing that. I don't feel confident enough based off the data I'm seeing to say yes, for sure, there is that major dip in September. What really did stand out to me is that some channels are still blowing up. despite all of this, right? They're still doing well. Some channels are not, but I still have a lot of channels that are doing very well. I still have channels that are making 6 and 7 figures a year from YouTube. And maybe it's going to be a little bit harder than before, because just by nature of the landscape and YouTube pushing shorts, that is a reality. But here's the one thing that was in common for everyone that kept growing. And what you need to know is that these creators were not chasing the algorithm. They weren't pivoting to shorts. They were doing the same thing they had always been doing, creating really valuable, strategic, long-term content for a very specific audience. And I want to be clear about this. This is anecdotal. This is just based on my experience working with these creators, not some like huge, massive data set. The problem is there. YouTube is pushing shorts. It's annoying. I don't like it. But what I know for sure is, both from what I'm seeing now and from what I've seen historically over the years, people are not making money from shorts. They're just not. But they are making a lot of money, 6 and 7 figures, from long-form content. Long-form content is still what makes creators the most amount of money. Universally, talk to any successful YouTube creator. Seriously, any successful creator, and they will tell you the majority of their revenue comes from the long-form content. And a lot of people say, well, you know, the shorts will bring viewers to your long-form content. I'm not seeing that. I'm just not. You could see if a short does bring viewers to a long form video, because you can see it as a traffic source. If it goes viral, if a video does go viral, we're talking like 400,000, 500,000 plus views, I will sometimes see that. In that instance, yes, that will bring people to a long form video. So you need a lot of volume, you need a lot of views, and that really is a strategy with shorts. A lot of content and a lot of views. Are you up for that? Is that what you want? Is that what you really want to chase? And even then, people are not necessarily making money from those views. They're making money on when those views come over to the long form videos, if and when that ever happens. Needless to say, I still don't love shorts. Even though the landscape has changed, I still don't love them. And the bulk of the income for most creators, yes, it comes from the long form. And it's because long form gives you time to build trust with your viewer, demonstrate your expertise, tell deeper stories that really connect, make offers that really convert, build up your email list, sell your products and services. Shorter piece of content, can it do it? Yes, but it requires way more of it. And it just is harder in my eyes. You have to be creating so much content. What is the solution? What is it? A lot of people are saying, yeah, add shorts. They're not saying do shorts instead. They're saying add shorts. But in my mind, I hear more work. Do you want to do more work for not a huge ROI? That's kind of what I'm getting here. Like, the solution is to do more work, which is to do shorts. Okay, fine. Well, if I'm going to do shorts, is it going to bring me an ROI from all those shorts? My conclusion is no, it's not. Take that information and do what you want with it, right? If you say, well, I want to take that chance. I like the idea of throwing a lottery ticket, throwing a short every day, seeing if something goes viral. Great. By all means, do it. It's there for you. Do it. My opinion is the solution isn't to abandon long form and chase shorts. The solution isn't necessarily to keep doing long form and do more shorts, which is more work. The solution is to get more strategic with your long form content. You're going to have to, because here's what these algorithm changes or the platform layout changes actually means. With fewer slots available on the homepage, your content just has to be better. Not just good, but better. Better thumbnails, better titles, better video topics, better hooks, better retention, more value. The bar just got raised. And what does it mean? It means that the creators who are serious, the ones that are treating YouTube like a business, not a hobby, those are the ones that are gonna win. So you can't really hobby YouTube anymore. You just can't. The competition is too much. The platform has not made it easy on the long form with the introduction of short form content, and you really can't wing it anymore. The reality is that having a hobby channel where you just post whenever you feel like it, whatever you feel like making, without being strategic, without being really clear on who you're talking to, where your niche is, it's just not possible anymore if you want to actually grow and make some money. And I think more and more people are realizing that you do have to be extremely intentional with their YouTube channel. You have to really take it seriously. So I'm not here to say that YouTube is super easy and you make all this money without doing any work. Yes, you can make a lot of money, but you have to be intentional, you have to be strategic, and you do have to put the work in, and you have to be patient. Even the people who do get lucky with a viral video early on, they still at some point realize, I need to take this YouTube thing seriously for it to really work for me. And this is where having a strategy becomes even more valuable. When things get harder, like they are with this algorithm change, when competition increases, when things switch up, that's when being strategic and being intentional with your thumbnails, with your topics, with your titles, with your content, that becomes absolutely critical. Having a team of people to help you, having a strategist like myself, a coach, it becomes even more valuable in this environment and not less. Because the creators that are winging it, they're the ones struggling right now. But the creators who have a solid strategy, They're figuring it out. They're still winning. They're seeing growth. They're seeing sales. They're seeing momentum. Here's what you want to focus on. You still want to focus on for your long form content, search and evergreen. YouTube is still a search engine. It hasn't changed. Yes, shorts are showing up a lot in search results, taking some of those spots. But when someone really is searching for a solution to a real problem, they're not always looking for a 30-second short. And the way the algorithm works is they might watch a short or two, but then they might also watch a long form video in your suggested feed. So when the people that are looking for more of a comprehensive tutorial, a detailed guide, that's long form territory. And you want to be there when that opportunity comes up. Now, number 2 is quality over quantity. I'd rather you make one really good long form video a week than 7 mediocre shorts. One long form video that ranks in search, that builds trust, that's getting suggested, that converts viewers into customers, that's worth a lot more than 100 shorts that get views but don't move the needle for your business. Now, number 3 is monetization strategy. This is really, really critical. What is your channel monetization goal? I did a whole video on it that you're going to want to check out, but you need to know this before you hit record. Like, how is this video going to make you money? Are you promoting an affiliate product? Are you building your email list? Are you selling a course or service? Are you booking coaching calls? Every video should have a clear path to revenue, not just views. And I feel like that's kind of what happens with shorts. Number 4 is patience and persistence. YouTube is not a sprint. It is very much a marathon. The creators who win on YouTube aren't the ones who go viral once. They're the ones who show up consistently, week after week, month after month, getting better with every single video. Your videos, your long form videos, they become assets. They work for you 24/7, bringing in leads and sales while you sleep. But you have to give them time to compound. And you have to be very intentional and put some thought and energy into how you create them. So I want to be really honest with you about something. You're here watching this channel for a reason. You're not here for quick hacks or viral tricks or get rich quick schemes. I'm not about that. I will never be about that. You're here because you're serious about YouTube. You're serious about building a business that gives you freedom, impact, and income. And that's exactly why I created this channel. I give you the strategy and the mindset you need to actually succeed. Not just to get vanity views, but to build something real, build something sustainable, something that actually changes your life. And here's what I know about you. You're a high achieving woman, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you're creative. You don't have time to waste on strategies that just don't work. You need to be intentional with your time and your energy, and that's what I want to give you, the clarity to make these smart decisions about your YouTube strategy. Because yes, the algorithm changes are going to happen. They're happening on every single platform. That's the thing. TikTok is a mess right now. Instagram is pay to play. I did a whole video on that, so you're gonna want to check that as well. Facebook is, well, it's Facebook. There aren't that many places left where you can get the kind of organic reach and exposure that YouTube still offers. But you do have to be smart about it. You have to be strategic. You have to be willing to put in the work, be persistent, and be patient. Because the algorithm changes, they're gonna impact every single platform. They always do, right? They're run by these big tech giants with their own goals and agendas. We're just living on rented land. But the fundamentals, creating really, really good content for a very specific group of people and being authentic while you do it, that strategy is always gonna stay the same. That is never going to change. And honestly, that's what YouTube wants us to be doing, no matter what the algorithm does. We don't have control over that. We just don't. So I hope that was helpful for you. My thoughts on this, I think it's an ongoing discussion. I would love to know your thoughts on it, what you're seeing on your end. I'm gonna keep updating it based on what I'm seeing. If you would like to have my eyes and ears on your own channel, I have my YouTube bootcamp, which I open up spots periodically. So if you wanna be on the list for the next time I open it up, I'll put the link in the description below. And if you wanna keep learning from me, you can check out this video on why I think that YouTube is the best platform compared to every other platform. Until next time, keep shining, keep creating, and most importantly, keep being you. Mwah.